palmistry reading of a 26-year-old person. We are reading his hand, and I would just indicate few important points that I see on his palm. Now, first thing that we would look at is the money line. The money line plays a major role in our life regarding finances. So this is the line that I'm referring to, the line that I'm drawing out here. And this is the intersection of the head and the money line. This is the intersection of the heart and the money line. So this portion is before the age of 35 that I have encircled. You would notice that in on the main money line, there are few lines that are kind of joining into the main money line, the fate line. So this is before the age of 35. So at one portion, when it joins, is approximately around the age of 29, and the second one joins around the age of, let's say, 30, 32. So this is an approximate age when some gains are likely to come to this particular person. And the lines, when they join into the main money line, it is something like another tributary is joining into the main money line, so more flow coming to one's life. So these could be lines of luck, or these lines could also be seen in terms of maybe sometimes marriage, or sometimes benefits coming to this particular person from people he doesn't know, or from females. Now, these females can be from inside the family or outside the family. It could be anything like that. The other aspect is that I'm just trying to darken the image a little bit so that I can see things more clearly. Uh, Apart from the line of money can also be seen on the other aspects of your life as well. Let's take the case of your lifeline. The lifeline is the line of energy and stamina and vitality. So you would notice that few lines are kind of leaning upward from the main lifeline. And there also appears to be a triangle-like formation of the lifeline. And this triangle is around the age of 35 or so. And triangles on the lifeline indicate property. So this is basically considered to be good. Apart from that, you would also notice that there are few lines that are leaning outside the main, from the main lifeline. They are leaning outside. These are the lines that I'm referring to, pointing towards the mount of moon. So moon is a changeable planet, and if the lifeline kind of moves towards this particular direction, then some restlessness can creep in. It could also mean health loss or wealth loss, or it could be anything related to in the body where water is. So water related issues can also crop up. Sometimes this line could also mean a desire for travel. Now these lines are kind of there around the age of midlives, around the age of, let's say, 50, 50, 55. This is when these lines are. So that's when the person should be a little bit more careful, and the person's desire to stay far away increases from their family. So this is just a tendency. It could also mean change of perception of one's life. This is another meaning that the person can experience in their life. Now we move to the starting portion of the lifeline. You would notice there are a few lines that are kind of pointing towards the mount of Jupiter and joining into the main lifeline. Now the lines that originate on the mount of Jupiter are considered to be good, because what it basically means is that our life is getting guided by Jupiter. Now the quality of the line is not so great. It is a very dim kind of a line. So the effect that it might show in our life is going to be in a limited way only, in a marginal way only. It kind of inspires the person to a higher position. So if this particular line was much more stronger, then things become better. If it is weak, basically it means that these things are a little bit lacking in one's life. The other aspect is we look at the heart line. Now the heart line, generally people think that it is only the line of your emotions and sensitivity and your love life, but I would say it can also tell your professional life as well. So a simple heart line is always better compared to a heart line that is broken up into pieces and which has got branches over it. So you would notice it appears that there's a break out here, a small break. So a simple one break is okay. See, some people, they have got multiple breaks. A break on the heart line could mean some emotional issue. It could mean an abrupt ending in a relationship or a partnership. And there are a few branches over the heart line as well. Now, branches over the heart line means distractions, falling for temptations, and not being able to totally focus towards our goal. So, getting distracted. So, people who are really successful are the ones who are really, really focused. That's when the person gets more result. Now I just move on to the other hand image, the left hand image also. The left hand and the right hand, the differences: left hand is the passive hand, right hand is the active hand. Left, but at the same time, because our hands normally have similarities, so it doesn't matter if we take a look at the left hand or the right hand. In this particular hand, what we find is that I had mentioned a few branches joining into the main money line, but in this hand, what's happening is there's the outflow of a branch from the main money line pointing towards the mount of Mars negative. Now, Mars negative is the area for anger, aggression, and fire. Imagine a situation: you are taking your cash towards fire, so the cash is likely to burn. And the timing when it is likely to happen is at this particular point marked on the money line. So if the intersection was age 35 out here, the money and the headline, this is age let's say 35. So this particular point is likely to be around the age of 29. A line kind of branches out from the main money line and points towards the Mars negative. So some kind of a losses can happen, some amount of burning of money can happen, wastage of money can happen during those particular years of your life. So we need to be a little bit more careful. Apart from that, even in spite of having this particular line, you would also notice on the lifeline, this is the lifeline, there are many small lines kind of join into the main money line from the Jupiter. So this reason I've already explained, and there are few upward lines also that are kind of pointing towards the mount of Saturn. So lines that join from the Jupiter takes a person to a high position. Lines that point from the Saturn mount or point towards the mount of Saturn and join the lifeline, it means gains that are likely to come regarding money, because the planet for money is Saturn, and lines pointing from the Saturn joining into the main lifeline are considered to be good as far as money goes. And these lines could also be considered as the luck lines. Now, Jupiter may not be the area for money, yet lines joining from the mount of Jupiter would also bring more money because the person is seeking more honor. And once a person reaches to an honorable position, the likelihood is that the person is likely to be able to make more money in their life. Now, the quality of the sunlight, this is the area for sunlight pointing towards the mount of Sun, the ring finger. You would notice that the lines are there. There are plenty of lines under the mount of Saturn, but these are comparatively very, very weak and dim kind of lines, very, very barely visible kind of lines. See, these lines, either the line should be deep and clear, or they should be no line at all. And a dim kind of a line, a very, very barely visible kind of a line, basically signifies doubt and self-doubt. So any saint, if you go to them, they would say that removal of self-doubt is necessary, because even if you have all the qualities, and if you are doubtful about yourself, so likelihood is that the person would not be able to achieve success as much as when the person is having more clarity. So if there was an absence of line, I would have said absolute clarity. If there was a depth in the line on the sun, I would have said that the person is giving huge amount of energies to their work. So in that way, I would say that the person needs to strengthen their work, give more energies to their work in a concentrated way with clarity. That's when things become better. I've also seen many cases, people who don't have a good sunline also, they are also successful. So don't think that absence of the sunline or a very weak sunline always guarantees that the person is not successful. It could mean just doubts and self-doubt. So this is the other aspect. Now the main heart line is kind of ending on the mount of Saturn in both the hands, left as well as the right hand. Basically, this is the meaning of this is basically where is the heart targeting? Where it is targeting towards the area for Saturn. What is Saturn? Saturn is money, possessions, wealth, and wisdom and responsibility. So the person is responsible, the person is wise, generally takes the wise decision, the person values money, the person respects money, because Saturn is all about respect and giving honor to money for the services that you give. So people who value money and respect money are the ones who are able to multiply their money to a large extent. And I just talk about the headline, the money line and the headline. You would notice that there are few backward kind of, this intersection is 835. There are few backward lines kind of pointing towards the area for Mars negative. Mars negative is the area for anger, aggression, and any line kind of leaning and pointing from the Mars and joining into the main headline means anger and aggression entering one's mind. So this is the area when 32H, that's when these problems can arise. The quality of the Mercury line. Now, this is the area for Mercury, a very, very important planet. Mercury is the area for skill, calculations, and communication. And out here also, you would notice that the quality of the line is very dim and weak kind. So I would advise a person to sharpen their skills. There may be multiple lines. Multiple lines means multiple set of skills, but the quality of these lines are not the best. So what it means is that the person needs to sharpen their skills even further. People who don't sharpen their skills are the ones who may not reach to the highest position because they have not mastered their skills. The quality of the lines that are kind of starting close to the lifeline, they are okay kinds. They are not the best, but yet they are better than what we find under the finger of Mercury. So when the area of Mercury is a little bit disturbed, it basically signifies that the person is kind of miscommunicating and miscalculating. So the person needs to put more effort into the right kind of calculations. If they are able to master their skills, things can become better for them. On the headline, we also notice that this is the line of head, and there are few lines that are kind of leaning upward and pointing towards the area for Mercury. Now, this upward motion branches over the headline pointing towards the Mercury mount basically signifies writing skills or maybe an author. But the Mercury mount, if it was better, I would have considered it to be good. Not every person basically becomes an author or a writer. This is what the book says. But upward motion, upward branches from the main headline means upliftment of the mind. It basically signifies some betterment coming to the person, something which elevates one's mind is going to bring more, like that portion of life can bring more benefits to that particular person. And this is what it is. And the money line basically kind of ends on the headline. This is seen on the left hand. This is not the active hand, but yet it plays a part. And there are one line, two line, and three line basically starts above the headline and below the heartline. So this portion is from the age of 35 to the age of 53. So there could be multiple sources of income that the person may have in their life after the age of 35. Break on the money line signify two or three things. One could be job loss, work loss, business loss during that particular year of one's life. This is first part. The second part could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down, so more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. The third thing could be one's personal life can also get disturbed due to a break on the money line. So 35 is our age when the person needs to be more careful. If the person is more careful, the chances of wrong things happening in their life, basically it decreases. I'm just taking a look at another hand image that the person had sent to me so that I can give my final opinion. And you notice that there's circular kind of a line under the ring finger, under the first finger, and this could indicate to interest in occult sciences, or it could also mean this is the name is Solomon ring, and Solomon ring like kind of brings an interest in occult science, or the person's intuition is there. So this is one aspect that can get applied. These branches on the heart line means distractions, falling for temptations, not being able to commit themselves completely to one particular work. On the right hand, it does appear that the quality of the mercury line are comparatively much better than what I had mentioned on the left hand, but the quality could have been even better. And if like these are 2 or 3 lines, so that means multiple set of skills, but there's lack of depth and clarity on the line. So that's the reason why I would say the person needs to master their skills even further. Although mercury is the area for calculation and communication. And just briefly take a look at the left hand, another hand image that was sent to me. And there are few good and bad points that I mentioned in this palm, and I would further discuss regarding this particular hand while on a telephonic conversation. Thanks for watching this video. Bye and take care. Just one small clip that is playing out right now, and this is a very important clip that you should see. I try to base my answers on the palmistry books. I try to follow. These days lots of fake signs are coming: M sign, chakra, wheel, pot, swastik, lotus. You never see these particular signs on the palm. Just take a look at these particular lines for a minute before you end the video. That's it. Thanks. Bye and take care.